Why is it that on January 2nd, the gym is absolute chaos, packed with motivated people and the scent of New Year, New Me, but by February 15th, it's a ghost town? Where did all that ambition go? If you have a list of resolutions you wrote down in a burst of inspiration months ago that you haven't looked at since, I want you to know something important. You are not lazy. You don't lack grit. You are simply suffering from a very human condition called annualized thinking. Welcome to The Last Read. Today, we are breaking down The 12-Week Year by Brian Moran and Michael Lennington, a book that argues that the biggest barrier to your success isn't a lack of knowledge, it's your calendar. Here is the core problem. Most of us operate on a traditional 12-month cycle. We set big goals in January with a deadline of December 31st. But when you give your brain 365 days to do something, it subconsciously says, relax, we have plenty of time. It's the same psychology that allows a student to ignore a term paper in September because it isn't due until December. This mindset allows you to have a bad week or even a bad month and shrug it off, thinking you'll catch up later. But Brian Moran, a corporate veteran who spent 30 years consulting for giants like PepsiCo, noticed a fascinating countertrend. He calls it the December push. Have you ever noticed how productive people become in Q4? Suddenly, the procrastination vanishes and everyone is scrambling to hit their numbers. Moran found that many sales teams achieve nearly 40% of their entire annual productivity in just the last few weeks of the year.
Why? Because the deadline is staring them in the face. The time for excuses is gone. The 12-week year asks a radical question. What if you could replicate that December push intensity but sustain it all year round? To do that, you have to fundamentally change your math. In this system, a year is no longer 12 months, it is 12 weeks, period. This isn't just a metaphor. When you condense your timeline, the cost of inaction skyrockets. In a 12-month year, one wasted week is a rounding error. It's less than 2% of your time. You can easily rationalize it. But in a 12-week year, one bad week represents 8.3% of your entire year. You haven't just lost a week, you've lost the equivalent of a month. This manufactured urgency forces you to cut out the trivial many activities and focus ruthlessly on the critical few. However, Moran warns us that starting this system triggers a psychological trap known as the Valley of Despair. We've all felt this. You start a new project with uninformed optimism. It's exciting. But 3 weeks in, the novelty wears off, the work gets hard, and the results haven't shown up yet. You hit the bottom of the curve. This is where most people quit. They are paying the price of change without seeing the profit. To bridge that gap and survive the valley, the book provides two distinct tactical tools.
The first is how you defend your time. You can't just try harder, you need a structure. Moran suggests 3 specific time blocks. First, strategic blocks. 3 hours of uninterrupted deep work where you work on your business, not in it. No phones, no email. Second, buffer blocks, where you corral up all the low-value noise, emails, admin, phone calls, so they don't bleed into your day. And third, breakout blocks. Scheduled time away from work to recharge your mind, because you cannot sprint for 12 weeks without rest. The second tool is how you keep score. Most of us focus on lag indicators, the number on the scale or the money in the bank. The problem is, by the time you see those numbers, it's too late to change them. The 12-week year demands you focus on lead indicators, the actions you take today. You stop worrying about the goal and start tracking your execution. Did you do the workouts? Did you make the sales calls? The authors found a magic number, 85%. If you execute 85% of your planned tactics week over week, the results inevitably follow. The math just works. So here's the takeaway. Stop waiting for January 1st. Stop thinking you have plenty of time. You don't. In this system, the year is short, the clock is ticking, and every single week is critical. Challenge yourself to reset your timeline today. Print out your plan, ignore the lag indicators, and focus on hitting that 85% execution score on the things that actually matter. Thanks for listening to The Last Read. If you want to dive deeper into these templates and case studies, check the link in the show notes to grab the book. Until next time, go show the world what you can do in 12 weeks.